do, folks? How you doing? Just a quick one. I wanted to cover this lurgy 19, and we're going to cover it in depth and complete, and we're going to leave nothing out. It's bollocks. That's that covered. Right, onto the legal system, and we're going to cover that complete, and we're going to leave nothing out. Guess what? It's bollocks. It's all a load of bollocks. I don't think there's anything, I can't think of anything in this world that we're taught as we're growing up, through the education system, through the indoctrination system, through the TVs, through anything, that is actually true. And I remember when I was growing up, I remember my mother telling me we had a conspiracy theorist in the family years ago, my great uncle or something, who believed the world was flat, and he believed everything was fake, and he said not a thing was real, and that's why he was so cuckoo, because he realised not a thing was real, and then it's like but unfortunately there ain't much we're taught that is true, and there's not much actually that we're taught that isn't built on those house of cards that I say, that comes tumbling down as soon as you look at it. Now here's the problem with these so-called conspiracy theories. Folks are indoctrinated into just putting your head in the sand, whatever hits your cognitive dissonance, and everybody's got a certain subject where they'll put their head in the sand on instead of just have a look at it. And the reality is, no matter how fucking daft it is, or no matter how daft it sounds, if there's quite a lot of folks looking at it, and every single one that looks at it suddenly is converted into a believer of it, it's time you looked at it. Or shut up. I mean, of course you got the option, don't look at it, but you ain't got a leg to stand on in any argument whatsoever when you refuse point blank to look at it. You don't really have a right to comment on it at all, and certainly not on the guys or gals that have actually looked at it. So this is, I think, the main problem with what we're dealing with, is the cognitive dissonance that's been indoctrinated into folks. And it's chemical based, it's frequency based, and they start injecting you as soon as you're fucking born, don't they? And no matter what shite they tell you of what they're injecting you with, or injecting your kids with, you never look and check, do you? That's due diligence. So you just trust these blindly to inject, and now in these times you see that they don't actually care for health. So what makes you think that they cared for health back then? I'm not saying no doctors heal, because some doctors do put things back together. You've got surgeons who will actually put you back together when you're broken, just to get the slave back at work. Be productive. You're an unproductive slave if you're sponging off the system, laid up with broken bits, so they get you back together and back to work as quick as possible, so you're productive again. And so with many ailments, you'll go to your doctors, they'll give you something that'll mask your symptoms so you can get back to work, but you're still dying inside. You still got whatever took you to the doctors in the first place. And then there's population control, cancer. That's not real rocket science when you look into it. There are cures out there. They hide the cure. They have indoctrinated the entire world into rushing in to taking fucking the poisons that kills you. Now everybody knows the shit they give you kills you. And I'm pretty sure most of them that know, when they get the dreaded C, that their shit will kill you. But they go, but what choice have I got? Die of their poison, or take a chance and try something natural? Try something that many folks have said that has worked for them. Well, I'm not saying believe me. I mean, I've got a whole list on how to cure cancer. and I know many other folks, and I know somebody else who's got the technologies to do it. But the reality is, people have still jumped for the poisons. We've got doctors that have a zero level of care anymore. They don't care at all, and I mean in their hearts. There's no, they're virtual robots. And I know to some degree you've got to be cold to some degree. You can't be empathic and be a doctor, I suppose, because you'd constantly be tearing your own heart apart. But you should still give a shit. You should still care. And they don't. It's like, you do as I say or you'll die. I don't care. Don't matter to me. And that's pretty much their attitude, which stinks really, don't it? And that's health care. Those two words have fuck all to do with what they do. Again, trust and commerce. That's all that is. They've accessed your Sescovy trust and they're conducting commerce with it. And there is no more to it. And the longer they can keep you on their books, the longer they can access your trust. End of fucking story. Medicines for life. Medicines that will create more problems, so you're going back for other issues. Take more medicines which create more problems, so you go back for more issues. And eventually you're just fucked up in older age. I don't say even old age anymore. Look at me, I'm 51 and I've had 4 fucking heart attacks. What can you say? It's the environment and the world that's attacking us on a constant basis. Doesn't matter whether it's that shite up there coming down into our breath all the time, we're breathing it in, whether they're injecting the fools that will be injected, or whether it's in your food. Now, for years I was thinking I was careful, trying to be careful. I'm not eating that shit anymore. That learning about foods, I can't eat that one anymore, and all my favourite foods were disappearing out of my life. And I just had to deal with it, because I can't eat that shit anymore, because I know what's in it, and knowing what's in it says I can't eat it anymore. But now what we've got is the foods that I was feeling comfortable eating, I don't feel comfortable eating anymore. I mean, I know my butchers, I know where my meat comes from, I know what they're fed on, but we also know what's in the fucking water. So they can get us any which way they want. Any which way they want. Most folks are eating medicated meats anyway, animals that have just been injected all through their fucking lives, usually with growth hormones and such like, which come through into your body. Your bodies are fucked, whether you know it or not. They've been attacking your body for a long fucking time, all of your life, from the minute you were born. But the agenda's changed, clearly, and they're attacking it in much more of a direct and obvious way now. You've got Big Pharma who are running fucking the show, basically. They can do anything they fucking want. They can write their own laws, they can pay anybody off, they can buy countries, governments and everything. Well, why? How? That's because they are a wing of the true rulers of the world. That's part of the control structure. It's not just a corporation, although it is corporations and multi-corporations, but it's all answering to the same fuckers. The true rulers of the world, whatever you want to call them, it don't matter. But they're the fellas who are in control of every aspect. You've got folks that are also whine about what's happening in every single step, and we know where they're going. It's the New World Order. You can look at the fucking Agenda 21 to 2030. And it's pretty fucking clear it's going to go from 21 to 2030. It's not fucking rocket science. But you've got these fucking idiots who are going to jump on every single step by step by step. That's the progression. That's exactly how they trap you, because you're forgetting that the end goal is there and this is where you are. The only thing you need to see is those 2 steps, and then you keep it relative how much of a gap in between there is. If you keep jumping with them on every step and making a big deal about every situation, you've already forgot how far we've fucking come. For fuck's sake. You just fucking, it's one more thing. What's the point? You're going to do that until what? Until what? You're whining about having to have a fucking injection. I'm not going to have an injection. We'll see how many of them fuckers hold up when the jobs are gone. When the food's gone. They can't get no fucking benefits. I won't get an injection. To be honest, I'm sick of hearing it from folks that I know damn well fucking will. Now, we all don't want to have an injection, but All these that are going, I fucking won't and I'll die first. Yeah, let's see what happens when your fucking job's gone. When you know you can't sign on until you've had an injection. Yeah, I won't have it. But I had to have an injection, otherwise I couldn't feed my children. Yeah, that's the trap that you're walking into with your eyes wide fucking open. You know it, you're doing nothing about it, you're waiting for it to fucking happen, and then when it's happened, you're fucked. Their plan exactly. That'll be the fluoride you're drinking. You know, that stuff that's in the water, you know that's in the water, you know that's been working on your fucking brain all this time and dumbing you down, that you're still drinking. Quite bizarre. Quite bizarre. What they've done to folks is absolutely unbelievable. Your free will has gone. You have no free will if you are one of those drones who are drinking the fluoride and doing what they fucking tell you to do, although you're just whining about it on Facebook. I know so many folks who have got an excuse for why they're wearing a mask. I've got a dumb cunt in the car behind me, I can see him wearing a fucking mask, presumably so he don't lick the fucking windows. But there are so many folks making excuses. Even me, I don't see many folks in my day-to-day world. I try not to. But the ones I do, I'm hearing the excuses for why they're putting masks on. Oh, I'm only putting masks on because if I didn't, I'd lose a job over the mask. So what happens when it's vaccine or job? Because you're doing it over a fucking mask. Absolutely. Well, nobody's told me how to say no yet. And nobody's given me the paperwork on how to say no yet. Have you researched? Have you looked? Have you tried? Have you asked anybody to point you towards the rights that you have? The world is your oyster. It's down to your due diligence, and it's down to whether you get off your arses and do something about your life. It's not about waking the world up and fixing things. You can't. The world's fucking owned and ruled. Now, I'm not saying be defeatist on everything, but the reality is all these fucking idiots jumping up and down and protesting and doing all that shit is just falling into the hands of the New World Order. It's the exact thing that they're creating. They're making it, well, at least I'm doing something. What? Working for the man? Well, what are you doing? You couldn't even comprehend. The reality is everybody should be doing something at their level, and everybody should be doing something for themselves. Everybody should be protecting themselves. It is about protecting yourself. It's not about waking everybody else up so everybody else can protect you. It's not going to work that way. This could all end if we all stood up now. No, it couldn't. No, it couldn't. Yes, to the little mask situations and shit like that. Not to the changing of the world. Not the New World Order. It's owned. It's not being taken over. They're just changing agendas. They're just moving with the times and creating a world that goes into the 5G era. A world that's actually compatible. Anybody my age already realises from when there was a kid, the world is unrecognisable. If you'd have took me out from when I was a kid and put me here now, I would think, although the buildings look the same and the roads are the same, obviously, and trees look the same, but the world, how it runs, the technologies and what we use and what we do, it'd be way out of all fucking comprehension. Well, you imagine now, we've been progressing at the speed we've been progressing, which has been fucking fast. But imagine where it's going to go from now with quantum computing and AI. That's going to be taking over everything. We're not compatible with that. Us that are saying we won't fucking do that, they don't give a shit about it, because we are not compatible with that. If you ain't making your own plan to get the fuck out, you're gonna have your jab, I promise you. Because you're just sitting there in your ass thinking you're safe in your bricks. Not when there's no fucking water coming through the taps and there's no fucking food coming in the house, no electricity to keep you warm because you didn't have the jab, and you decided that you're just gonna sit there in your fucking house with your head in your fucking sand. Or on your sofa. You'll have your jab. You'll have your jab. And I'll fucking promise you, 90% of you, if not more, I'll have your jab. There's going to be a very small amount, a very few amount who can actually go through with not having the jab. And without some serious preparation and some serious give a shit to the genuine situation, as opposed to all this, oh, they're just doing that, oh, they've pushed an old granny over now, oh, they've said this and they've said that, and Boris Johnson said this. Why are you even watching that shit? What do you want to know what they say for? I don't get it. I don't know what they say. That's why I don't make videos about what they say, because I have no fucking clue what they say, because it don't matter. I covered that right at the start on that extensive section I did on COVID. Oh, and yeah, covered it again on the law. Doesn't matter what fucking Alexander de Pfeffel wants to say. The very fact Alexander de Pfeffel is the Prime Minister under a different name shouldn't fucking faze you at all, should it? I mean, let's face it, Tony Blair did it, didn't he? Lyndon something or other, I can't remember. Not Lyndon, I don't know, I was nearly going to name a fucking Prime Minister there. Charles Linton, that was it. Charles Linton, there's Tony Blair's real name. So, wakey wakey folks. Just because we haven't known all of them, you can be guaranteeing they all are, because the Tony Blair and the Boris Johnson, they're corporations. Oh, Daddy put the name Johnson in there, and don't think for 1 minute it wasn't in preparation for this, because all prime ministers and presidents and all leaders of the world are not elected. They are created, probably from the minute they're born. They're being prepped for their role in this shit. Who knows? But hey, look up their lineage. You go through our entire fucking parliament, there's not fucking many you'll find that are English. Now, I don't give a fuck about nationality myself. I think everybody's everybody, and we just who we are. And as far as nationality is concerned, we've just been indoctrinated. But if you are going to have these borders where you say this is this country, that's the other country, then surely it should be run by that country's. I mean, I went to Cyprus for 10 years. I couldn't fucking imagine an English guy suddenly running for a fucking parliamentary position in there, let alone fucking, or any other nationality, or any other country. I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it don't. I don't fucking look into politics, but it's just the way that this bullshit has been going. You've been chipping away at not just our heritage and not just our national identity, everybody else's. Everybody's been chipped away at. They're making a one world where it's one world order, one world government, one world people. It'll eventually be a one currency, and it'll be a one language eventually. Now, personally, I think some of those things would be absolutely fantastic if they were done with the right intent. I mean, it's not nice to say to anybody at this stage, change your language, who has to change to what language. So I don't believe that should be done. But I believe there's technology that will be able to translate language as we speak, live. So why? But as far as identity is concerned, one of the most beautiful things about travelling to other countries is the cultures. Well, if they're chipping away at that, we're losing. Of course we're losing. I've seen some fantastic cultures, and I've said it to many folks. When me and my wife have gone abroad, I've always said we're the problem. The English are the problem. When we go abroad, the attitude that we've been indoctrinated into, what we think we are, this special fucking entity, this special breed that fucking what? I don't get it. What, because the Queen rules the world? No, she's just another fucking puppet. The rulers of this world aren't fucking English, I guarantee you. And the ones pulling the strings right now in all this bollocks aren't fucking English. And it's not about England being taken over. They've never been fucking English. Just the same rulers as the ones that are ruling France, America, and any other country you can fucking imagine. Right down to North Korea. All North Korea is a secret fucking country, a secret base as it were, where they can do absolutely anything with no information getting out or in. Don't think for 1 minute it isn't owned by the true rulers of the world. That's why you have all the gameplay all the time, all the oohs and ahs and nearly wars and bollocks. It's all manipulation. Everything that goes on is just for your mind. And if you give it your mind, you've lost. If you fall for all these new little things that come out, you've lost. You shouldn't be bouncing onto one thing to another. If anything, you should be educating yourself on the real world, how the world really works, what's going on in the world, what's behind the distractions that they keep giving us. I mean, there's still people talking about fucking Brexit. New World Order, one world government, single currency, European army. I mean, come on people, Brexit, really? And there's still people talking about it. The reality is, the world ain't what we believe, and literally everything is theatre for your mind. Literally everything is theatre for your mind. We have to wake up to this, folks. That's what we need to wake up to. Once you wake up to that, you'll realise that you're not going to wake anybody else up. You're not going to wake everybody up. Just waking up yourself and discussing it and talking about it amongst ourselves, and as we do, that's going to wake anybody up that is going to be woke up. But trying to shake anybody, I'm long since done with that. For the first couple of years of being a truther, that's all you want to do. You think you can do that. All you're doing is making yourself look a fucking idiot. And when you've actually realised all those that think you're an idiot, they're the fucking idiots. And that's the cold hard reality of it. Some police action out there today, bloody hell. So yeah, that's the cold hard reality. You need to wake yourself up, but properly, and not into their fucking new world, because that's all this truther world at the minute is just being used to wake up even our side of things to their false narratives. You're being woken into the next truther movement that they want the truther movement to be in the next generation. You're working for the man just the same. It's yourselves, folks. You need to wake up. You need to wake up to what's really happening, what it's really all about. Stop fucking putting this COVID shit in your mind. Stop putting all the distractions and the lockdowns into your mind. It's all fucking fictional. I have not been regulated or attempt to be regulated in any way, shape or form, and that isn't because I've handled my paperwork, because on a day-to-day walking around meeting, no fucker knows me from Adam. I'm just another fucking person as far as they're concerned. They don't know I'm not. So it is all fictional. It's in your minds. They talk about it on TV. You show you a few videos of police doing this and that. Well, I don't see any fucking problems. I'm going into shops. No coppers have come up to me. No, most happened is, do you want a mask? Somebody did offer me one. Do you want a mask? Because I walked into one shop. I looked him a bit funny. Went, no thanks. Carried on. That was it. Maybe it's a bit tighter where you are, but it don't mean you can't handle it. You don't need to put it too much mind, and you don't need to be, oh, this shop's done that now and that shop's done, seeing all these fucking photos of bollocks. You're just perpetuating it. Give it no mind, no energy. Anyway, folks, bit of a boing boing again. What am I gonna say? Bit of a chat. I'm gonna do one because I'm nearly where I'm going, and yeah, have a great day, all of you. Got lots of shit to do today, and got some Tesla technology arrived as well for a medical device on Tesla technology. I may do a little video on that at some stage. But hey, have a good one all, and enjoy your day. Wake yourselves, even if you think you're woken, there's always another degree. Catch you later.